What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Stoic Context. Today, we are going to react to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm going to save my commentary for the end of the video, so stay tuned for that.
Hello. I'm all right. How old are you? All right. What do you got for me? What's your input?
Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, but may I please not be on video as well?
Go ahead.
All right. So my input is that growing up, I noticed that the bad boys would, tease the good guys for being good.
Okay.
Yeah, so my input would be that I agree that, both sides need to get together and decide what standards they're going to have for themselves. And not only for the women that they would like, but just for, just the way that they live their lives also at the same time, so that it's like, unilateral.
I don't understand. The men need to flirt. What do the women need to do?
Oh, women. Okay, well, women need to hold themselves accountable. But I was just agreeing with what you're saying in terms of both sides, the square dudes and the other guys. They need to get together and decide what standards are they going to hold themselves with, and also what standards will they hold the women with as well.
Well, back in the day, it's always the square dudes, the bad boys. That was always the class clown and the straight A student. But
yes,
but the girls inevitably back in the day went after the straight A students or the smart guys. They may have kissed the bad boy, but they damn sure didn't make a baby with him because they didn't want to tie themselves to that. So that changed that changed in the mid 90s when women started to choose the quote unquote
the bad boys.
Boy, and you started making babies with them.
That's true.
So you can't hold the selfish gene theory is basically says we do whatever it takes to get our genes into the next generation. And men can sort out amongst each other, but it also is incumbent for women to choose to make babies with the productive men. That's the only way you're going to get more productive men is to when women choose to start making babies with productive, smarter, capable men. Not swag, not sex appeal and charisma.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, men can sort it out, but men are incentive based. If y'all aren't choosing them, why do you think men are going to do it?
You've got a point. I agree.
So my point is you can't make women be accountable. Women have to choose to pick the boring guy.
Yeah, true. But like I said, growing up, usually the bad guys or bad boys would tease the good guys for being good.
So what?
For getting straight A's and things like that.
So what? No, I get what bad boys did with the good boys. Don't care. You still got to choose them.
True.
Why don't women choose them even though they're getting teased? Why don't you choose them?
I mean, not personally, but I don't know.
Well, that's my point. See, every time I say women need to choose the boring guy, you're like, well, they will get teased. We're not in high school anymore.
That's true.
So why are we talking about what happened in junior high? Because when I was in junior high and high school, I got teased. But when I was graduating from college and them mother suckers was going to work at Sonic, I was teasing them. Look, we didn't. Who are you picking to mate with? And what you're ultimately, here's why I'm pushing, because your answer ultimately gets women off the hook. And I'm not going to.
No.
I'm going to put women on the hook for picking to mate with the guys who got teased in the elementary or high school.
I mean, I do agree. Women do still need to choose better. No, I do agree.
Well, why is it just a Then why the
No,
what's the holdback?
No, because No, there's no holdback. Women do still need to choose better. Yes, I do agree with that. And also back then you did have the girls having children with the guys that aren't very suitable at
Uh-huh.
all. And now, yes, they are counting for the mistakes that they made back then.
How old are you?
So there's nothing. I'm 28.
Are you married or are you single?
I am single currently, yes.
Any children?
No, I don't have.
When was your last serious relationship?
Last year.
How long was that?
It lasted 7 months
7 months.
because, yeah,
Okay.
because
So
I was listening to you at the time,
do you
and
want to
you
get married
said
one day?
yes.
By what age?
I was actually by now.
Okay. But that's not possible.
Yes. How so?
You're not seeing anybody.
Oh no, I was, and then I broke up with him last year, October.
Why?
Um, I don't know. I choose not to say. I don't know. I wasn't expecting the conversation to go. Yeah, I was just agreeing with what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm just asking though because I'm asking. Here's the thing. I let women give their opinions, right?
Yes.
And you gave
Hi,
your
I'm
opinion
sorry. I'm
because
at work.
you gave your opinion because you want to. But then your opinion as a woman, if it does it match what you do?
Okay. No. Okay. Well, last year I was listening to you also at the same time,
Uh-huh.
and you had mentioned that if in 6 months, the conversation isn't or the relationship isn't gearing towards marriage, you just would rather leave it because especially if you're a woman that wants to get married.
Yeah.
So that was the advice that I was also taking. So in as much as yes, the conversations were gearing towards marriage and he was asking me questions to to do with marriage and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
but by the end of it didn't work out. So that's when I left after
Okay.
7 months because I was like, no, I can't. Let me move on, and because I want to be married, so I was trying to keep it moving.
Okay. That makes sense. I just asked why. So, would you say you were raised to be a wife?
Mm, that I'm not sure. I grew up in an African home, and I was raised to cook and clean, but there wasn't really. I wouldn't say that there was like a male figure besides when
Mm-hmm.
my uncle came in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So, what I want you to pay attention to is that 6 month mark is a couple of things you're missing. One, you start
Mm-hmm.
out dating with the express intent of knowing you want to date to be married.
Yes.
That's one. So if you didn't start out, 6 months is arbitrary. Number one, but number two, you got to be a wife before you start this process.
Yes. So I had been listening to you even from 2020, I
Uh-huh.
believe. So I had already started the processes by then. So when I got into this relationship, I had the mindset, I had the attitude of, agreeing and also
Uh-huh.
being submissive and also compromising and
Yeah.
also, just being that person. So when we broke up, he did mention to the people around us that, he didn't have problems with me. The mistake actually came from his part because he was
Mm-hmm.
not honest with me fully.
Okay.
So so
Well,
your
here's the
advice
thing.
works.
As long as you, here's the thing is, if when I ask women if they're raised to be wives, because at 28, the pressure is starting to mount.
Yes, I
So,
agree.
so you got to know that the issue is basically on uh, mate selection, not on you. You got to know the issue is if I put you in a room with 50 men that were looking to get married,
Mm-hmm.
and they were husbands. You got to know that the issue is not you. That's number one. Number two,
Yes.
do you live in a major city?
Yes, I do, but I live in an Asian country, so
Okay, well, let me
it's a
stop you right.
little,
Let me stop you
yeah.
right here. Let me stop you right here. What country?
uh South Korea.
Okay, you're not going to get married.
Yeah, I know. So I've already taken the steps to leave
Yeah,
because by now it.
because what? Okay, ladies, let me talk past you, so it's not so important. A lot of
No
women say they
problem.
want to be married, but look, you have to be. If you're a black woman, you want to get married. There are only a handful. There are only a few cities you should be living in
Hmm.
where there are black men that are heavily concentrated. You don't get. That's one of the issues that so many women want men, but then you're not living where the kind of man you want is. You have to be in proximity, and you have to know that you are ready to be picked. That's the whole thing. That's why I'm asking these questions. I'm not saying you are or you
Yeah.
aren't, but if you're ready to
Hmm.
be, and that's why I say if you're a wife, you wouldn't be in South Korea. You'd be around some black folk if you want to marry a black man.
That's true.
That's what it comes right down to. Women who are wives aren't worried about their jobs, their careers. They are worried about man, family, and everything else. So, one way
Mm.
or another, the answer comes out based however we get there. You may want it, but are you really ready for it? There you go.
Mm.
All
Okay.
right. All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good
See,
day.
Kevin's final point about proximity is one a lot of women need to sit with. You say you want a husband, specifically a certain kind of man, but you're living in a place where that man either doesn't exist or isn't even looking for you. That's not alignment. That's disconnection. It's like saying you're ready to catch a flight, but you refuse to go to the airport. How can you board the plane if you're nowhere near the gate? This is the part a lot of women overlook. Being ready for marriage isn't just about saying the words, it's about where you position yourself, how you live, who you surround yourself with, and whether your daily choices reflect that long term goal. And Kevin's not shaming her for living abroad. He's pointing out the mismatch between the desired outcome and the current lifestyle. If your dream husband is a black man who shares your values and you're living thousands of miles away from the communities where he's likely to be, what exactly are you expecting to happen? It's not enough to want it. You have to move with intention. Being a wife means making choices that invite partnership, not just hoping one shows up on your doorstep. Because at the end of the day, the women who actually get married aren't the ones who talk about it the most. They're the ones who align their actions with the outcome. So here's the takeaway. You don't get to claim you're ready for marriage while living in isolation, making excuses, or hiding behind convenience. If the man you want isn't where you are, then it's time to ask yourself, are you truly ready to be chosen? Or are you still choosing comfort over commitment? Do you think she's genuinely ready for marriage? Or does she just like the idea of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you found value in this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more real conversations like this.